Welcome back to your
Second.
favorite sports podcast. We are here with episode 7, back in person. And before we get into it, always have to say youtube.com/secondfavoritesports is where to watch all the episodes. SoundCloud.com/secondfavoritesports is where to listen to all the episodes. You can download them there as well. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram at secondfavoritesports. The link is always in the bio.
It's always in the bio.
And we will post whenever we post new things. It goes up there. We post extra content on there. And it's going to be particularly important to this episode.
Definitely.
And the topic of this episode, because the topic of this episode is the bracket, which we discussed 2 episodes ago. The second best, no, the best second
jerseys.
The best second uniform jersey bracket. We have our teams here. We have 16 teams. We are going to go through the first round of the bracket right now. Between the two of us, we'll decide that. And then on our Instagram, at Second Favorite Sports on Instagram, we will be posting polls to decide the rest of the bracket. And it'll go week by week. So round 2 will start right now. So this podcast is out now. You can go on our Instagram and vote right now for round 2 of the bracket. But we're going to decide round 1 right now. So you could stay here and see how we get to round 2.
Yep. Sounds good.
So Trent, I won't go through all the teams. We'll just go as we go.
Yep.
And we're going to start with the round 1 matchup of the number 1 overall seed. Chart, by the way, high-tech stuff here. Look, there's nothing wrong with a number 2 and some paper.
A number 2 is crazy.
A number 2 and some paper, okay? Why do pencils have numbers? Anyway, why did we only use 2 on tests? I'm just saying. The Chargers powder blue alternate against the New York Mets black alternate.
Jeez.
Now, the powder blue, I know currently the Chargers wear powder blues.
Yes.
As their home.
A new version of it.
And in the past, it was their home. And this is the best second jersey. So that basically means alternate. We're obviously saying second because, hello, this is our thing.
There you go. It's on brand.
It's on brand. Perfect. But this is ranking the best, or this is a bracket of the best alternate jerseys. And back in the day, anyone of a certain age and older knows that Phillip Rivers, Drew Brees, LaDainian Tomlinson, when they wore an alternate, it was actually the powder blue because they used to wear the navy blue uniforms.
It was, yep. Drew Brees, Antonio Gates, early Antonio Gates.
Yep.
Who else on those teams? Vincent Jackson.
Yes. There were some crazy wideouts. Every year they had a wideout that was like randomly breaking out.
Malcolm Floyd, I think, played in those jerseys. Sean Merriman.
Even Sproles.
Sproles, yep. Sproles played in that navy blue for sure.
Okay, so that powder blue, back when they used to wear the dark blue, that's our number 1 overall seed, Trent. And we got obviously one that hits close to home.
Yes. With
the New York Mets black.
Personally, one of my favorites.
That's my favorite Mets jersey.
Is it?
Yeah, I would say so. I just think it's a cool, clean look on a night game.
Yeah.
At Citi Field or back in the well, not really Citi Field, but back in the day at Shea. It's great. It's a great look.
Man. And in as far as players who wore it, you're thinking Mike Piazza. You're thinking early Jose Reyes, early. Subway Series. That's really what I think of when I think of that black jersey. I think who else wore that jersey? Mo Vaughn, I think, for some reason.
I'm thinking of like primetime games.
Yeah.
Like you said, Subway Series. We're on in the primetime slot.
Yep.
It's an important game. And I think Piazza is probably the first player I think of when I think of that jersey.
I think of Piazza. I think of Al Leiter.
Yes, I think of Al Leiter too.
For some reason, I think of Lastings Milledge for some reason as well. That flashes in my mind.
Anyone who had Lastings Milledge in your second favorite sports podcast, bingo. There you go. Bingo.
There you go. Lastings Milledge.
Yeah, and I think some great memories if you're a New Yorker, especially if you're a Mets fan. Also, probably some bad memories.
Yeah.
There were times where things weren't so great when they were wearing those uniforms.
I think they lost to a certain team in a certain sport in a certain championship series.
It's you got to wear a uniform, so sometimes you're gonna take a loss in a uniform. That's just how it goes. But it is a clean look. But it is going against our number 1 overall seed.
It is.
I think the choice here is clear. As much as it hurts to knock out a hometown team, but let's just take a moment to show a little love to this uniform. I mean, there was nothing sweeter than back in the day, LaDainian Tomlinson. Like when you were a kid, and LaDainian Tomlinson was the biggest thing in football, and he was like the highest rated player in Madden.
Absolutely.
And you would want that powder blue jersey and a pair of Landshark cleats.
Dang, Landshark. That's crazy.
That's a throwback.
That's crazy
right
that
there.
you said that just now.
You would want those Landshark
You needed
cleats.
the visor too. Don't forget the visor.
Yes.
The dark visor.
Oof.
Oh, that was different.
And you would want to, if you were going to go play at the park, that's what you wanted. Like you wanted to put on your LaDainian. Not that I had this, but I would have loved to have had it.
I'll tell you this. Kids our age, that's the only LT they know.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it, like, honestly, unless you're
Absolutely.
a Giants fan, LT I knew was,
War 21.
yeah, like, hey, I
21.
used to tell my dad, hey, I'm going to go see, like, LT's playing at 1. And he'll be like, Lawrence Taylor's definitely not playing anymore.
He'd be like, when are you getting in the time machine?
Exactly.
Like,
They're showing old Giant games?
Yeah. They got a playback on?
No, Pops. Like LaDainian Tomlinson.
And then he'd probably just laugh at you.
Absolutely. No.
I mean, that to me is the kids of our generation.
Yeah.
One of the all-time, like when you think back to the all-time great players, you think about Mike Vick, you think about LaDainian Tomlinson, Adrian Peterson, the all-timers from our generation growing up as kids.
Definitely.
And
LT's at the top of that list.
That jersey is synonymous with LT. As much as he probably played more, the stats would show you, in the dark blue jersey.
Yes.
When I think of like LT breaking off a huge run, it's in that powder blue.
Yes.
For sure.
Absolutely. That's the one.
And they had a couple different versions, like when we were looking things up for the purposes of the bracket, they had a couple different versions. They had one that had like weird numbers on the side, but the one we're talking about is just the clean. It looked like their home uniform, but just in that powder blue color, and that was just...
The ones we saw were... It was like an AFL throwback, I believe.
Yes.
Like that year when the Jets had the Titans jersey and the Titans had the Oilers. I think they came out with their own... I think it's probably 08 that they had like a throwback AFL Chargers jersey
with dark numbers on it.
Exactly. But then they made that they started they had their own version of the blue that they said, okay, we're gonna make this a third color and bring it back, and it's to me that's their best jersey they've ever had.
100%. And their jerseys this year, by the way, they knocked them out of the park.
Excellent.
All their jerseys are awesome.
Excellent.
Okay, so next up,
we're
going Chargers powder blue.
Chargers powder blue.
Moving on.
Easy money.
Okay. Do we want to go to the next 1 seed matchup, or do we want to go to see who they will
finish
be
out the
facing?
bracket? Let's finish
out
this
this little conference here.
This side of the bracket.
Yeah. Okay. So we have the number 2 seed, Philadelphia Sixers, blue alternate that they wore back in the day with Iverson.
We're talking like 2003, 2002.
With the Sixers across the just clean.
Beautiful. It's like a silk. It was like that silky.
Yes. It had some shine to it.
Yes. And so we're talking players like, of course, Aaron McKee. We're talking Eric Snow. Samuel Dallenberg is on that team. I think early Kyle Korver was on that team as well. He got traded for a printer, I think. Do people know that? I think fun fact for Kyle Korver. We drafted Kyle Korver in the second round, I believe. And then we traded him for cash to the Sixers that we then used for a copier machine.
Oh, my goodness.
So when they say, hey, he got traded for a bag of balls, he literally got traded for a copier. Dang. So shout out to Kyle Korver. He's still balling.
Yeah.
Still getting NBA checks.
I don't think that copier is still
they're
getting the job
I think
done.
that copier is somewhere in East Rutherford right now, to be honest with you.
So we got the Iverson Blues. That's what we're just going to call it. The
Iverson
Blues. Going up against another blue, the Cubs alternate blue, the one with the C on the chest.
Yep.
And the Cub, the full Cub.
It's a good.
Like
think
crawling.
Sammy Sosa. Sammy Sosa.
Sammy Sosa. Absolutely.
Nomar, I think, played in that jersey. Was Nomar a Cub? I don't know.
No.
I made that up, guys. He
Made that
wasn't
up.
a Cub. He's actually a Dodger.
Yes, he was a Dodger.
Or how does A-Rod say it?
You would know, not me.
the Dodgers.
There you go.
As A-Rod was
There you
saying.
go.
But yeah, Sammy
no, you're
Sosa,
thinking like Ramos Ramirez.
Yes, Derek Lee,
Victor
Sombrano.
Yeah. Oh yes, absolutely.
Who else played on those teams?
A lot of.
Who struck out 20 guys?
Who?
Oh my gosh, who am I thinking of?
Oh, someone's really mad right now.
Yeah.
No, but anyway, we got this is a good matchup. This is like a real 2-3 matchup.
It's Battle of the Blues.
It's a Battle of the Blues. I like both
Mm-hmm.
a lot. If I'm being honest, I have to go the Iverson Blues, even though that's not my favorite Sixers jersey. Meanwhile, this Cubs one is my favorite Cubs jersey.
It's a great jersey.
But the Sixer one, actually, the black is my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
But even still, I think if my standard for this whole thing is if they're both hanging up on a shelf in front of me, which one am I going to buy first?
Yeah.
I think I'm buying the Sixers one.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's just, and it's synonymous with a guy that just changed it all, too. That's probably it. Like, you know how, and I guess we'll get to it. You think of a player in a jersey, and then that jersey is synonymous within your mind who that is.
Well, just looking at how we have it written here on the page, I wrote Cubs blue, just generally the team, but we knew what we were talking about. And then I wrote Iverson blue.
Yes.
Did not write Sixers blue.
Nope.
I think for that reason alone, I go Iverson blue Sixers jersey.
It's a great jersey. It's actually my favorite one they wear. And and in my mind, I see him with maybe like a red and white striped headband, maybe with the white sleeve.
And he's got the finger sleeve.
He's got the finger and he got the questions on now.
Absolutely. But that was close. I will say that's a close one.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go across the bracket.
Mm-hmm.
Our 1 seed, Orlando Magic. Back in the day, Penny Hardaway, Shaquille O'Neal days. Blue.
Not the black one.
The black was their
away jersey.
Away, and the white was their home.
Mm-hmm.
So the blue was an alternate, but they wore it a lot.
Yep.
So that's that jersey. So 90s Magic Blues.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic jerseys. A gold standard for jerseys, really.
Great jersey. So we're talking, like you said, Shaq, Penny,
and
Nick Anderson.
It said Orlando across. It had the stars.
In the A.
Again, shine, kind of like how we were talking about.
Pinstripe too, right?
Yes, pinstripe. Absolutely. Blue with white pinstripe.
I'm really thinking Penny in that like I could see Penny right now in that jersey.
But this will be a tough one. This could be a heated one. This might be the one that causes a rift in your second favorite sports podcast because the number 1 seed Blue Magic jersey is going up against the number 4 seed New Jersey Nets red.
Wow.
We're thinking Kenyon Martin, Richard Jefferson, Jason Kidd.
Yep.
Vince Carter.
Vince Carter, yep. Absolutely.
In that jersey, the red with the blue and the kind of like the Argyle silver on the side, which I love, by the way.
It's a great jersey. I think
I love red jerseys.
Red jerseys are great. No,
red is.
They are.
It's a flattering color. Thank you.
It is a great jersey.
I obviously look. This is an easy decision for me.
I bet it is.
I go with my team. It's the Orlando Magic for me. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not open to being swayed. But if you had an argument, I would listen because I'm a friend.
Here's the argument. Okay. The red Nets jersey is probably the last jersey we wore with Jason, with Vince, and RJ together. And it actually went from, because most people probably remember Jason in the gray when we were in the finals. That red jersey actually was a transition into like Vince when Vince came and got traded to us, and then actually Jason left. So you could look at it as, hey, like that was the last time Jason was in your jersey, Jason Kidd, but that's also the time when he left.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
As well. For me, I love that jersey. Those are great teams and great players that are like, those were my childhood, and that's what I think of. But that Magic jersey, it's a close game. We're going to lose by 10, but we're fouling. We're still fouling, but we're down by like 6. But it's only like 7 seconds left.
Yeah.
But we're going to keep fouling.
Right.
There's no way we're coming back into the game.
Yeah.
and we lose by 6, 7, 8.
I feel you. I agree with that.
Now,
I agree with that.
For my boy Nick, we might be down by 30 in the fourth quarter with this jersey. Because it's a great jersey. I get it. It's a beautiful jersey.
I have to go Magic here.
Yeah. No, you got the Magic. Magic won this.
I think in a different matchup, the Nets could have pulled an upset there, but just the way the bracket shook out, I got to give it to the Magic.
It was just a bad seed. It was a bad seed for the Nets.
It happens.
Any other bracket, I'm giving them a better chance. That Orlando Magic jersey is special.
They went up against, according to our bracket, they went up against the number 1 basketball alternate of all time.
Easily. Absolutely.
That's tough. And basketball is the sport with the best alternates.
Yeah.
By far. There's more basketball jerseys on this bracket than any other sport.
And well, listen, it goes with the program. Another Nets loss when you need it, you know? when you need it to get done or you when it counts, not like a nice Nets L. I digress. Continue.
So next up, we got the Phoenix Coyotes' current alternate. This is their current alternate, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Their current alternate, which has the little coyote character on it with a little bit of I want to say like a Native American influence on it.
Yeah, like the Native American in like a southwestern Native American. Because I forget the name of the tribe that they're named after. But it's like whatever Native American tribe is in New Mexico, Arizona, that Southwest Sedona vibes. That's what you see when you see this jersey. The player that I think of in this is like Keith Kachuk. I don't know how many of our listeners know who Keith Kachuk is. That's spelled with a T.
Yeah.
But that's the one jersey I remember him playing in. But it's so good. They actually wore it in the playoffs. Because this isn't this is a second jersey. This isn't a primary jersey.
Yes.
And they wore it every game in the playoffs for the Coyotes. So
sometimes
that shows you exactly. That shows you how well, of course you want to sell the jersey, so you need to see them on it in the jersey. But to me, it's one of my favorite NHL jerseys that I've ever seen.
It's great. The little character on it. Sometimes I'm not a big fan of putting characters in like a whole cartoon on it, like maybe just a head of a cartoon. But in this case, I'm a fan. I like it a lot. I think it's simple, but the colors are nice. There's it's kind of, I don't want to say it's complex with the colors, but there's a variety of colors.
Yes.
But the design is simple, and it's on a nice black background.
It's it looks like a jersey from the 90s, but it is a bunch of different colors that go together. So
it reminds me of when they played the All-Star game in Phoenix.
Yes.
Those classic, the classic All-Star game jerseys, the NBA All-Star game. Yep. It kind of gives me that vibe, like that, like you were saying, New Mexico, Arizona, kind of like that eclectic Native American inspired vibe.
Yes.
So that's that one. And we have a Phoenix v. Phoenix matchup because we have the 3 seed Phoenix Suns back in the Charles Barkley days alternate, which was black with the orange, the basketball on it, Suns.
So is this friendly fire right now?
It kind of is. And to me, so far, now the last matchup was tough. The one before it was tough. This is the toughest so far.
This is tough. That Suns jersey, during research wise, when we put this together, I just searched it because Nick texted me and said, "Hey, this jersey could be on the list." So I go and look, and it's a Charles Barkley. I think they brought those jerseys out in '93, and they got rid of them in 2000. I want to say, it's such a great jersey. It's the black.
It's very
it's
clean.
Got suns on a diagonal coming up in white, and
that's what I love about it too. It's not the suns doesn't go straight across. I like text with a little not so straight. Everything I feel like today is trying to be so clean, straight lines, and this is a straight, but it's on a diagonal. It comes up, suns.
It's a great jersey.
So 90s.
It's a great jersey. Super 90s. We're thinking 93. So we're talking Kenny, KJ. I think Dan Marley was on that team. Who else? I think Danny Ainge was on that team too. That 93 team, because they went to the finals in 90. What year did they go to the finals against Mike? I want to say it's 95. No, he wasn't. Yeah, I don't remember, but it's a great jersey. It's a great jersey.
To me, I think of Chuck when we literally wrote it as Suns Barkley.
Yeah.
But it's tough, both on a black background, both nice colors, some orange worked into both. I think, Man, this is tough. I'll let you start. Who would you go with when it comes down to it?
As far as the jersey, the better jersey, I think the Coyotes are going to win this one. I think it's very close.
Yeah.
But if we have to pick a Phoenix jersey from a Phoenix team, I think the Coyotes jersey is the one because of how it's a great looking logo. And again, it's from the 90s. So for me, seeing those logos, that was a fun time as far as logos and uniforms were concerned. So for me, that jersey symbolized a lot. And it's just a cool looking jersey.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. I think though the Suns one is awesome, I also consider how many great basketball jerseys there are, and hockey jerseys, I feel like there's not as many standouts as this Coyotes one.
Yeah.
So it makes it stand out more.
Definitely.
When you think about the design of a hockey jersey, the long sleeves and all that.
Yeah.
This Coyotes one is really nice.
It is.
When you compare it to all the others. And though the Suns one stands out, there's an argument that there's better.
Yes.
So this is the highest ranked hockey jersey on this whole thing.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to move
It's
on.
deserved. Because honestly, I think we'll get to them. I think there's better basketball jerseys. I don't know if there's a better hockey jersey.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I like the green. I like the orange. I'm a fan. All right, moving on to the next section of the bracket. So we got 2 down. We got 2 to go. We have the number 1 seed, Bulls black, 90s Bulls black jersey with the red pinstripes. We're talking, I mean, this is Bulls.
Yeah.
This is the all-time team Bulls. So this is Mike, this is Scotty, this is Rodman.
Yep.
In full effect. And they're going up against another hometown team, the New York Islanders, Gordon Fisherman.
Wow.
Alternate jerseys. Now, if you're not from New York, you might not know this jersey, but if you are from New York and you have at all followed hockey, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Your thoughts initially on the matchup?
The Islander jersey is a funny one because strictly off of the fact that it's like they did not win at all in that jersey. But it's such a, again, we're going back to characters on a jersey. That character on a jersey is funny.
It's crazy.
It is.
It's like, it's not even very cartoonish.
No.
It's kind of realistic.
It is. It really is like realistic. And to me, the Islanders colors plus the jerseys they've done, like I'm a big fan of the logo, the Island logo. And it had the apostrophe S on it, I think, as the Islanders.
Yeah.
But I really like their jerseys overall. They always have a clean look. But that jersey was so left of what they've done.
Yeah.
And then the Bulls jersey is that's just classic. Like, I mean, you want to talk about a set of jerseys, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They got like incredible.
I mean, I love the Bulls red. Is
just gorgeous.
Like an all-time
just
favorite.
Gorgeous. Like the way the diamond looks on the shorts too. Like it's just beautiful. Like in the way, see, Michael made everything cool.
Yeah, this is true.
If he was wearing like I don't know, Kings jersey, I just don't know if it would hit the same, to be honest. Like the jersey with the red and everything else was just great. I love that jersey, but the black, late 90s, I think they wore those like in 97 or 98 when Mike came back. But the pinstripes with the Chicago across it, it's just a clean look.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I would have this as an upset, but that's me being emotional.
I feel you.
I grew up in an Islanders house.
Yes.
And like you said, actually, the Fisherman jerseys, not great memories in those jerseys. But my father used to have paraphernalia with that all over it.
Yep.
That Fisherman on it, on the hat, on attire. And so it just brings back certain memories, but I could also, the case is stacked against it heavily.
Yeah.
So, I mean, be my voice of reason. Do the Bulls have to win this matchup? Am I crazy? I like the teal with the blue, with the orange. It's a crazy color mashup, but for some reason I dig it.
It's funny. I don't necessarily believe the black is their best jersey. I think it's a clean look. And I'm a sucker for like a logo, a cartoon logo, or like a human, I won't say human being. Relax, everybody. I'm not going to say human, but like a fake person, like a fictional character. That's where I'm a fan of.
Yeah.
The fact that like Gordon Fisherman is like a person, like as far as somebody that has a name, he's synonymous with a jersey,
Right,
but
yeah.
he actually has a name. It's like Gordon Fisherman.
Yeah.
So it's tough. Like if I had to pick one, I don't mind Islanders here, to be honest with you.
Ooh, we got
Just
our first
as a
upset.
Just as like again, let's just say this. I'll give you an example. The Islanders are up against this Bulls jersey, and they can't miss from 3 right now.
I feel
Think UMBC.
I feel you. I like it. I'm down with it. I'm down to put them through, and I think it's because
they could get smoked next round. They really could.
Oh yeah.
They really could.
Yeah, I think they probably will.
Yes, they just were hot today. They were hot. It's a March Madness type bracket, and they couldn't miss from 3.
I like it. Gordon Fisherman moves on.
Yep.
The 2-3 matchup in this side of the bracket, the Miami Vice Heat jerseys. Current day. Miami Vice. I mean, not that there were.
Because I know they have a bunch of different ones they've been doing since for like the last 3 years, but I don't think they ever miss with any of them. So we're just going to say Miami Vice.
Those, yes. Yep. Against the black Detroit Lions alternate.
Slept on. Very slept on.
Very slept on. I love that light blue with on the dark background.
Yes.
We're thinking Megatron.
Yes.
We're thinking Matt Stafford. Not super young Matt Stafford.
Think Joey Harrington. Joey Harrington. Think, was it Roy Williams? Not Roy Williams. I don't think
Roy Williams was on them. Yeah.
Roy Williams. Think. Those are really the 2 names. And John Kitna.
I'm thinking even they had some really great defensive players on that team too, back in the day. I mean, I think also with those black jerseys, I used to play Madden all the time, but for some reason I always picked the Lions.
Yes.
Like I would do the creative team where you just draft. You just like I would have like Adrian Peterson as my running back.
Definitely.
And for some reason I always picked the Lions. I think it was because I wanted to wear those black uniforms.
It's a solid jersey, man. And think of like it's a block number, not the ones they have now with this curved number.
Yes.
It's a block number Lions. And they wore it with gray pants. And they had the gray helmet, or the silver, not gray. It was a silver pants, silver helmet with the blue lion and the blue stripe. Yep. Just a clean, like, slept-on jersey. I think it's one of probably the most underrated jersey on this whole list, probably.
I agree. It's going up against a powerhouse.
The
Miami Vice is amazing. Similar in color. The Miami Vice, obviously, with the pink and the more of a teal blue, but it's that dark with the bright blue contrast that draws your eye on both of these. It's tough. I think I have to give it to Miami Vice.
Yeah, I think so too.
Just because I think it has a little something extra that the Lions doesn't. The Lions has the nice blue and the black, but the Vice having that extra pop of pink in it.
Yep.
And just kind of the story behind it, I think I have to give it to Miami Vice here.
The Miami Vice jersey is equivalent to the team that like everyone loves, the 2 seed that everyone loves, or the 3 seed. That or even like a 12 seed that everyone's like they got a low seed, or they got a high seed. Excuse me, they got a low seed, and they're the team that say, hey, everybody says, hey, they could win it all.
Yeah.
And you're like, how? Like they're a low seed? What are you saying? Like, but no, everybody likes their team. It just happened. They didn't play well this season.
Yes.
That's all.
So yeah, I think we're gonna go Miami Vice here, but the Lions, black, did put up a good fight.
Yep.
All right, last section of the bracket here. We have a 1-4 matchup. I'm going to save the 1. The 4 is the Real Madrid Dragon alternate. This was worn, I think, back in 2014.
I think it's the only soccer jersey we got on the list, right?
It is, and we had to rep some soccer, and if you're going to rep soccer, you got to do it from the Cristiano days of Real Madrid.
Of course.
These jerseys, they wore, I believe they won the Champions League that year. I think they won La Liga that year. I'm pretty sure that year they won the Champions League over Atletico Madrid. So it was actually a big deal.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And so some really good memories if you're a Real fan, if you're a Cristiano fan. Some amazing players on that team. Gareth Bale, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yep.
Clean, black and white aesthetic.
Was he managing at that time?
No.
No, he wasn't. It's early.
Yeah, this is 2014. This is
Gotcha.
Kind of glory days for them of like having Cristiano and being a total powerhouse.
Yeah.
And, I think it was kind of strange for people to see dragons on a soccer uniform, on any uniform.
It's not normal, let's say that.
But for some reason, it fit. It fit the mentality of that team. It was kind of like trying to be chic and stuff.
It was a black jersey, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Black with white piping. And
then a white collar?
Like and like a whitish gray, 2 dragons coming up on it.
Wow.
Yeah, kind of Ed Hardy vibes, but in like in a cooler way.
Yeah.
Sorry if you were Ed Hardy. But it's going up against a number 1 seed, which for many reasons is just going to put up a fight of a lifetime.
Yeah.
Because it's going up against the Los Angeles Lakers Mamba jerseys.
Sheesh.
I don't think there's a fight here.
No, I don't think so either.
This is
honestly.
where the 4 seed gets just stomped out.
Yeah. It's a great jersey.
I mean, from the, you wonder, okay, it's a Mamba jersey. How are you going to incorporate the snakeskin on it? Because obviously that's going to be a thing.
Yep.
And the way they did it with doing it as the underlay of it wouldn't be an overlay, but it's, instead of doing it on the numbers, they did it as the whole jersey. Mm-hmm. I like that better.
I do too.
If they had done like a weird snakeskin print on the numbers and letters, it would have felt like...
Yeah, it would have felt weird.
It would have felt cheap. It would have felt like a Halloween costume.
Mm-hmm. It would have. And I like that it's not... There's no purple in it either. It's just literally black and
yellow
gold.
Trim.
Or black and yellow. And it's just a great jersey.
And the actual jerseys themselves had the KB patch on them.
Yep.
They had the black band
mm-hmm.
across them.
Mm-hmm.
Look, sorry, Real Madrid.
Yeah.
But this is a jersey that could win it all. I think in terms of when you're talking about wearability.
Yeah.
Both the look of it and the reasoning behind it.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting love for both of those things.
And who doesn't like a black jersey either?
It's great.
Yeah.
I mean, so many of the jerseys on this list
I know.
are.
It is.
But this one in particular, it's obviously it tugs on the heartstrings. The Lakers played wonderfully in it this year.
They did.
They wore it, and they felt an extra sense to win when they wore it. And I think that only adds to me wanting to wear it.
No, for sure. For sure.
So, yeah, I think Lakers Mamba. It's got to move on. And there's really not a whole lot to say about it. And
yeah, I don't think that's a contest either.
And whoever's going up against them next, they just put on a statement performance. So you got a tough road ahead.
Yes, definitely.
Let's see who's got a tough road ahead.
Let's see.
Because it's between the Royals Baby Blue alternate,
mm-hmm.
Kansas City Royals, and the Anaheim the Anaheim Mighty Ducks alternate. We both got the thing. I don't know what's going on in here. It's a little dry in here, I think. The Mighty Ducks alternate, which obviously is a classic. It's a callback to a piece of pop culture that so many people love.
I mean, I love the movie. One of my favorites.
Great.
Gordon Bombay. You know what I mean? Charlie Conway.
So, a tough matchup for the Royals because it's a very clean, classic look.
It is.
Really, like, when you're talking about that powdered blue,
mm-hmm.
you think about Bo Jackson.
Yep.
You think about George Brett. You think about some really great times for Kansas City. You think about something that kind of transcended. It's not often, really, that a baseball uniform transcends
mm-hmm.
into style, into fashion. The Yankees obviously does because it's the Yankees.
Yep.
But I think you see this Royals, especially back in the early 2000s and the
Definitely.
90s, you saw this Royals baby blue. People
Definitely.
would wear it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You see the hat. You see the I had the hat myself.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I had the hat with not dark blue, but their regular blue brim with the light blue.
Got you.
Really clean. And the jerseys themselves are really clean.
Yes.
But I don't know, can it beat the Mighty Ducks?
Listen, man.
Another
Mighty
black
Ducks
jersey,
is
by the way.
tough. It's tough. Because I think of like, it is. Now, the Mighty Ducks logo in particular, one of my favorite logos, along with again, hockey jersey logos, I think are slept on.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know if they promote them I feel like that. Like if the NBA had a team with that logo, they would wear that jersey every day.
All the time.
You know what I mean? Like with the duck mask, Wild Wing mask with the sticks. Mm-hmm. It's incredible.
So cool.
And I think and they won a Stanley Cup in that jersey with like Paul Correa and I think Niedermeyer was on that team. I'm not sure. I forget. But I think Teemu Selanne was on that team as well.
Hockey fans.
Yeah, I'm digging
hockey
deep
fans
here.
of the show.
I'm digging deep.
Educate us.
Teemu Selanne, I believe, was on that team as well. But regardless, that jersey is incredible. It's
It's clean and simple, but it's built around the logo.
Yeah, the logo's the whole.
There's few better, if any.
Yes, as far as hockey.
As far as sports,
yes,
I would say there's few, if any, that are better than that logo.
I love it personally. I love it, and there are probably sharper ones like the Canadiens logo is a good logo. The Red Wings logo is a good logo. Even like the Blackhawks, I love the Blackhawks logo as far as like the jersey combination, but it's something about the Anaheim jersey. So for me, this. I'm not gonna say it's an easy one, but it's an easy one. Like the Ducks,
and it's an upset.
It is.
So we got the Ducks going over the Royals in this one. Tough break for the Royals. I do love that jersey.
Yeah,
it's clean, but almost it's cleanliness. It's clean. The way it's.
I'm rolling.
The simplicity of it.
Yes.
Kind of hurt it here.
It did.
Because you went up against something that kind of has that standout element.
Yeah.
In that logo. Kind of like the Gordon Fisherman, how we talked about that. Logos have played a role in both of our upsets here.
Yes.
We've had 2 upsets so far, and both of them were hockey, which is interesting.
Yep.
And both of them were a very clean look, being upset by a kind of out of the box logo.
That's it. That you got to bring something to the table.
So that sets the stage for the next round, which will be decided by you guys, by viewers, listeners, and followers of @SecondFavoriteSports on Instagram, which is where the polls for this will drop.
Yep.
So just to review, we have in the next round, we have number 1 seeded the Chargers powder blue alternate going up against number 2 seeded Iverson blue Sixers jersey.
That's a good one.
That's a crazy matchup.
That's a great matchup.
And I love that it's out of our hands because I don't want to have to make that decision.
I do not want to make that decision.
Then we have my Orlando Magic, the number 1 seed. Number 1's almost swept it here, but number 1 seed going up against the Coyotes alternate.
Sheesh.
Now, I don't think there is a lot of people that know about that alternate, but I think when they see it, it's going to make them think twice.
Yeah, I think
right now you could be listening to this and going, oh, and I say listening because we are going to have images of the jerseys on YouTube. So if you want to see them right now, you could do that, but they'll also be on the Instagram polls. But if you're listening to this, I could see you being like, really? Like, I'm not going to pick a Coyotes jersey.
But I don't know how many people know about that Magic jersey either.
That's true.
Like, you know about it because you're a diehard. And I know about it because that team is, I remember that team and I remember that jersey. I don't know how many people know that Magic blue jersey.
That's true. It could be eye-opening for, there could be people that are like, I might want to go pick this up.
That might be a toss-up, to be honest with you.
It could be. I'm excited to see the results. Now, we have nothing to do with this.
Which number jersey you going to put on there?
I got to go Penny.
You got to go. So, yeah, that's synonymous. He's synonymous with that jersey.
Yeah, I got to go Penny.
I think that's going to be crazy. That's must-watch.
That's must-watch, absolutely.
That's must-watch.
That's an interesting matchup. It's like 2 smaller schools, but powerhouse schools.
Yes.
Going up against each other.
Definitely.
So I like that. I like that matchup. Then we got the Gordon Fisherman, the biggest upset of the first round.
UMBC, baby.
Going up against a tough matchup, Miami Vice.
Yeah, man.
Miami Vice Heat.
I think, did the Magic run out already?
No pun.
Look,
we're based where we're based. A lot of our listeners and viewers and fans of the show are from the area. Maybe
they might be Islanders
fans.
Pull
an upset.
They might. That's a tough match. That's uphill though a little bit.
Yes, that Miami Vice that's universal.
Yeah,
everyone loves that.
Yeah, that's a great jersey.
That's going to be a tough matchup. I would love to see. I would love to see upsets no matter what. I'm very interested to see what people's opinions are, but like you said, uphill battle.
Yeah,
uphill battle for the end. But you know what? You got to be proud of the effort.
You got to.
You beat the Michael Jordan Chicago Bulls.
Look, honestly, no one thought they would be here. To be honest,
it's like it's interesting too because it's one of the most successful teams of all time versus one of the least successful teams of all time in terms of like when they were wearing those jerseys.
When they were wearing the jersey.
Obviously, I know the Islanders have a rich history.
Yes, 4 cups in a row.
I've heard it my whole life.
We get it.
But in those jerseys, not so rich. Yeah. Pretty, they're in a box on under the freeway.
Hey, well, listen for your pops, right?
Yeah.
If the Islanders win a cup, would he bring that out? Would he bust out the Fisherman?
I don't think he has. I think he has a shirt and a hat. The shirt, the Fisherman's might be disappearing on, and the hat has definitely seen better days.
Yikes.
As has that that team at that time.
Definitely.
Had seen much better days. But things are looking up. Anyway, tough matchup. Last matchup, another tough matchup. Another hockey team going up against a tough basketball matchup.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be the Mighty Ducks Anaheim alternate going up against the Lakers Mamba.
LA.
Yeah.
LA. Wow. How about that?
It's funny how these things work out. And honestly, we didn't plan this at all that way.
No.
We just kind of did it objectively, and this is how it felt. But, man, I mean, you're going to see how many fans of the Mighty Ducks are out there versus, obviously Kobe and the whole legacy. And there's Lakers haters out there. Maybe they won't want to vote for a Lakers jersey, even though they might like Kobe. They might, obviously feel bad, but they might go, I don't like the Lakers, and I love the Mighty Ducks.
That's really logo versus
Legacy.
Legacy. Really.
Yeah.
That's the logo, because there's no way that the Ducks logo, as far as like the legacy of the Ducks logo and probably what you point to as far as like
pop. That's what you know. What it is
culture?
A battle of pop culture. Though.
Yes, nostalgic.
Because I mean, although Kobe obviously is sports culture, it's become pop culture since his passing. That's pop culture. They're both pop culture related.
They are.
And one's like
just what do you love more? What hits home more?
I was gonna say they're both kind of sentimental too. Yeah. That's a good matchup.
Cause I love that Ducks. I think of, like I said, I think of a movie, I think of a cartoon, and I also think of just the jersey itself is so 90s, Yeah. So that's gonna be interesting. I'm leaning Kobe, but I don't know.
Yeah, I would say I lean Kobe, but that it could be surprised. And I thought that Kobe jersey could run the whole table. But I wasn't thinking about the next matchup.
Yes.
And that's a really tough one. I mean, this whole thing is tough. It was tough to narrow it down to these 16.
It was.
Like I've said a couple times now, I'm so glad we don't have to decide the rest of it.
I know, bro.
Because this is going to be tough.
It is.
I would say to anyone voting, just go with your first instinct.
Yes.
Don't think about it too much. It's probably going to be on an Instagram story anyway, so you won't have much time.
Anyway,
so just pick which one you think looks better, and we're going to see what the results are. And the way it's going to work, just to go into a little bit more detail, is at the start of the matchups will be at drop of this episode. So maybe we'll give it 24 hours, and then we'll do it the day after this episode drops.
Yep.
So the day after this episode drops, which is on a Wednesday, on Thursday, the matchups will get posted. And maybe we'll post them a couple days. Maybe we'll post one at a time. You gotta stay tuned to @Second Favorite Sports to find out how we do it.
Definitely.
But they will be there. We'll obviously include details when it gets posted. But go on there, check out @Second Favorite Sports on Instagram. If you have strong opinions on any of these, get out and vote.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
To kind of call back to last week and the last couple weeks. Get out and vote.
So, are you leaning, who's going to win this? A hockey jersey?
Yeah, we got to do predictions.
Or a basketball jersey?
Basketball jersey's going to win.
Think so?
I think a basketball jersey's going to win. There's one football jersey in there, and there's a couple hockey. There's 3 hockey. Who would have thought that?
See, I'm leaning hockey because there's more of them. There's a lot, but there's also a lot of basketball. But I think the hockey jerseys are are legitimately gonna give these teams a run for their money. The basketball.
Who would have thought? Like really, what a culture clash in terms of it's gonna be a lot of hockey against basketball.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the styles are kind of similar.
They are
that '90s throwback style.
See,
that's what wins.
People know what stands out. They really do. In the 90s, everyone loves the 90s. Like, what a great time to be alive as far as like a consumer, like as far as buying jerseys and buying and rooting for teams, like,
and the emergence of jerseys as a fashion piece,
absolutely,
instead of just fandom.
Yes, exactly.
You could not support a team or a player but wear their jersey because you liked how it looked.
How many of our parents are not wearing these jerseys?
Yeah,
like I can't imagine like my dad, who grew up a Knicks, Jets, and Yankees fan, thinking like, oh, if the Yankees came out with a crazy alternate jersey, like what? What do you mean?
Chance.
Like everything was fine. Like they why mess with something that's perfect, But for me and Nick or you and me, it's like this is like, I love logos. Like, logos are a thing for me. I love them.
We grew up. I mean, this was made for us.
Oh, absolutely.
That's what it comes down
Listen, this is what you get here at Second Favorite Sports.
Yeah, this is true.
This is what we do. We give you a bracket for second jerseys.
So, okay. So give me your who can sneak in to a finals? Who do you think could sneak into a finals?
Who's like a lower seed?
A non-1 seed.
A non-1 seed that can get in the final.
Because we have 3 1 seeds. We have 3 1 seeds that moved on, right? 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So 3 of our 1 seeds moved on. So give me a non-1 seed that can make it to the finals.
Looking at the side of the bracket I'm looking at, I'm rolling with AI, the AI blue.
Yeah. I think that'd be my answer.
Just because of the bracket side, I'm like, I know you guys can't see the bracket, but the bracket I'm looking at, I think they have a chance. Yeah. That's a great jersey, and I think people love AI.
Yes, I mean
people love AI.
I certainly do
for great reason.
I think if I had to say so, that would be my choice. And I think on that same side of the bracket, their matchup is the most likely number 1 to get bounced. I think the powder blue Chargers could get bounced by Iverson in that second round.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
And that would be a tough loss, but you might be losing to the champ. You might be losing to the overall.
True. You get over that.
Let me ask you something, kind of related to what we're talking about, but not related to the bracket. When your team loses, in the playoffs, do you root for the team that beat you because you want to be able to say you got beat by the best team, or do you root against the team that beat you?
If I dislike that team so much, or if the team that I lost to is playing a team that I hate more than the one I lost to. So, for example, like Yankees lost to the Rays, they played the Astros.
Yep.
That's a tough one for me. But I much rather see the Rays advance because I believed that they were going to lose in the World Series.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
right. Yeah.
That's how I look at like. It depends on who it is. Like, for example, I don't really feel this way about basketball necessarily unless there's like bad blood. So like when we lost to the Sixers, like we lost to the Raptors last year, it was nothing there. Like we lost. We should have lost.
We both lost to the Raptors last year.
We both did. No, very true. When we lost to the Raptors, I was like, we got swept. It is what it is. We're in a bubble, you know? But the year before, when we lost.
You're talking about this past year. My bad. Yeah, I'm thinking 2 years ago.
When we lost to the Sixers, there was like some bad blood there. And I don't really like. There was a little bit of it wasn't a rivalry. I'm not going to play with the word rivalry, throw that around like that. Yeah. But there was like some strong feelings between each other. There was some text thrown. Jared Dudley got in a fight. You know what I mean? Like, and so for me, losing to them, it didn't kill me. It didn't hurt like losing to like the Red Sox or the Pats.
Right.
But did I want to see them lose? Sure. Absolutely. I'm not. So to answer your question, I'm not. It varies.
Okay.
I have to hate the team I'm losing to. I have to hate them, or something has had to happen. They beat us a lot. They're talking a lot of smack maybe during the season.
Yeah. Either they were your enemy coming in, or they made themselves your enemy.
Pats, Dolphins, Yankees. I mean not Yankees. Red Sox. That's really it. Those are the 3 teams that, and not necessarily even Astros for sure. Astros probably. I don't know if this is like
you root for anybody, I should say.
But like the Astros passed the Red Sox for number 1 probably the last 4 years. Can't stand them.
Yep.
Couldn't stand them at all.
It's also because we just spanked the Red Sox now.
I know. Yeah.
So it kind of makes it easier to make that decision.
And that energy hasn't been the same for years now.
Yeah.
It hasn't been the same
that
for
rivalry
years.
doesn't have the juice.
Yeah. Tyler Austin tried. Like he tried. But it just everybody's again, we talked about go listen to episode 1 too as well, because we spoke on a lot of stuff as far as how athletes are. And this athlete that is now a professional athlete nowadays, I'm not going to say it's buddy and that there's no like smoke between anybody, but they all have the same agent.
Yeah.
We all looking to just get paid. We're trying to get paid here. We want to leave in one piece.
Yeah.
We all got families. So, I mean, I don't know if anybody really hates anybody now.
Right. It takes away a little bit.
It does. A little bit.
You know, it It's still there, but it's you really got to go looking for it.
You do.
But when it happens, it's exciting.
Yeah.
It's more exciting now because it's less likely to happen.
Yeah.
So I will say that at least. But if it's happening to me,
yeah.
I'm the type of guy that, yes, unless it's a team that I hate, I'm going to root for the team that beat me because I want to be able to say I lost to the best team because then it's really like up in the air. Look, I know the Magic wouldn't have won the finals last year. Okay, not this past season, the season prior.
So Vucevic wasn't gonna
carry.
He wasn't going to go full Jimmy Butler and take out to the finals.
No.
Evan wasn't gonna go crazy.
Evan, don't get me started. We don't need to do that.
Let's not do that, right?
Oh my goodness, it's the off season. I have a break from Evan Fournier. But it was nice to be able to say, hey, the Raptors who won the championship, are the ones who beat us.
Yes, definitely.
And we played them tough at times. So like it at least makes you kind of feel good. I know there's no moral victories to go back to another prior episode.
Yes,
episode 3. I can't remember which one it is, but go back. You'll know what I'm talking about if you've seen the episode. But I rooted for the Rays.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for reasons you talked about too. But to me, I want to get beat by the best team.
Absolutely, definitely.
So that's just, especially when you're the Yankees. There's a lot of pride.
Always
pride, power, pinstripes, all that stuff. I don't know. Oh God, we might get a copyright strike now. I don't know.
He didn't just say that.
The whole episode's done now. It's tanked. I'm gonna have to bleep that.
So I got a question regarding the bracket.
Yes,
right?
back to the bracket.
So if you don't know, people, there are teams that did not make this list.
Yes.
Of the teams that didn't make the list, and you know a majority of them, which one could have made the list? Like they're 16 seeds.
They lost in a playing game.
They lost in a playing game. They're number 17, which is the best of the rest.
The best of the rest. All right, let me think about the ones that we cut. Right before this episode, we went through our cuts. So it was kind of fresh in our head. I'm trying to remember. Do you have any off the top of your head? Oh, the Coogee Brooklyn.
We
weren't going to put 2 of the same team on the bracket. So we had the Nets red alternate, and it was between that and the Coogee. And we picked the Nets red, but the Coogee, it's a great, and I think at D'Angelo, which was a short-lived stint, but a fun stint.
Great stint. He brought us. Shout out to D'Angelo Russell, man. He did a lot for us. He did a lot. He really did. For me, I'm really leaning like Rangers Statue of Liberty. That's probably my favorite one.
That was a tough cut.
I was fighting for that Rangers fans to get that on there. I really was.
He was. Do you know what made it instead though? The Gordon Fisherman Islanders jersey, which beat the Bulls.
It did.
I'm just saying, this is what happens. Sometimes you catch fire at the right time.
And whoever's supposed to be in a tournament is supposed to be in a tournament too. There's never, we don't, Aaron's second favorite, we don't ever put anybody that's not supposed to be in.
It's true.
Okay.
We're a team of integrity here.
Yes. But no, the Statue of Liberty one, I think the Braves red is solid.
Oh, yeah, clean.
The Braves red is solid.
I think that could be made more popular by this current team.
Yes.
Like, I could see 3 years from now that red Acuna jersey being worn a lot.
Yes.
So
definitely
that might have some that they might need another year. They might need, like, they got a little bit of shine on the big stage this year. They're going to get a better recruiting class next year, and next year they might be a 14 seed.
Definitely.
You know?
No, for sure. And I think and this is nostalgic for me, but like the 1982 white Devils jersey, that's a throwback, but it's a second jersey because it's not the main one, but it's also not their away jersey, which is the white. And that's the jersey that they wore when they first got here, that they wear sometimes. It's like a nostalgic thing. They're going to reverse it this year, and they're going to have a green jersey, actually. So that's what the NHL is doing this year. So you might see Trent in that on an episode too, maybe. So my last question is, of the teams that lost, if they were reseeded in a different part, who would advance? I'm looking at one in my mind right now. But I'm going to let you go first.
Have lost. Who would advance?
If they wouldn't play the team that they played.
Yeah. Well, the Bulls black, obviously, because they were a 1 seed.
Yeah,
the
definitely.
Bulls black with the red pinstripes. But I would say the Barkley Suns, if they hadn't gone up against a tough Coyotes matchup.
Definitely.
And the Cubs blue.
Solid.
Had it not gone against the Iverson blue Sixers jerseys, the Cubs blue alternate.
Solid.
Super clean.
I'm thinking Mets black. It's probably number 1 on that list. And I would say I would say Cubs blue, but I'm looking at that Nets red. It's probably number 2.
All right, so we're back. Recording device runs on batteries, and those batteries ran out. So that's why you check that before you start, which honestly I did, and I just kind of, I don't know, I like to gamble a little bit, so I just kind of ran with it.
Nick likes to live on the edge, guys.
I do. Danger is my middle name. No, it's not. I'm not going to tell you what my middle name is, though. You don't need my government. Anyway, you can find all of our episodes at youtube.com/secondfavoritesports. You can find all of our episodes audio-wise at soundcloud.com/secondfavoritesports. You can vote on this bracket that we discussed for this whole episode.
Yep.
But you get to decide the rest of it at Second Favorite Sports on Instagram. We will be posting those polls. We'll be posting extra content. And we will be posting when new episodes drop.
Definitely.
Which is every week on Wednesdays now.
Every week on Wednesdays, guys.
Link in the bio. You want to talk about astoundingly consistent? Now it's us.
Yeah, we won't change our logo or anything.
No. The logo's here to stay.
We're gonna keep it consistent, guys. We're gonna give you what you know.
We promise we won't turn it orange.
We won't hit you in your head and tell you, hey, we just changed our whole logo. And if we gave you a color on our logo that has nothing to do with the team at all.
I just want y'all to know that this is Trent for weeks now of us having to talk about the Jets and watch him wallow in. Is that the word? Wallow?
That's the word.
Wallow. Watch him wallow.
Yes.
The Jets are on bye this week. And so this is what he does. This is what he does. It's my turn. Misery loves company, as they say. But I wouldn't rather have any company in my misery than my co-host on your
Second
Favorite Sports Podcast. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment if you thought that our choices were crazy, and download the episode on SoundCloud if you'd like to listen offline, and follow us at Second Favorite Sports. Can't say that enough. At Second Favorite Sports on Instagram. That's where you get to vote on the bracket. Until next week, peace.
Peace.